Show and the Oddball Foundation is dedicated to mental health advocacy through art.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oddball Show features content intended for mature audiences. If you'd like to view a content warning before listening, please check out the episode description. The views put forth by our hosts and our guest reflect the speaker's opinions and not the official stance of Oddball Foundation. Thanks for listening. We hope you enjoy the show.
Chad.
We need a new narrator. We need the guy who used to do Muppet General Hospital for the Muppet Show. And so it began, and so another week of the Oddball Show. Thank God. Tune in next week when you hear Chad Parento say.
Is that what's wrong, Chad? Another podcast after the Gobble Wobble.
Oh,
that's what's going on, Chad.
I need more Muppets in my life.
Chad, you're in hell and I'm at Walmart. So what's worse?
You say that again?
I'm at Walmart. This is Walmart.
I mean, same thing. I thought you were with your family. It's either way, same thing.
No, it's like Black Friday.
Family, Walmart, same thing.
You see my backdrop? You don't see my backdrop?
I see. I don't see all of it. I do see.
Oh no, I don't either. Yeah, it's not the best. It's just me at Walmart here. I can.
Okay.
It's Black Friday.
Looks like it's Blue Tuesday. It looks like you didn't even get any good deals. You know. You got any specials? Yeah, 15 cents per bag, asshole. Bring your own. You know,
Well, I'm back at Thanksgiving, and look at that candle. It is lit. That is a casserole in the background. I believe that is a turkey right there, over there. By the way,
wow, you called the turkey on a Thanksgiving scene. Good job.
It's pretty meta, right? It's pretty on there.
There you go.
So how you doing, Chad?
Well, I'm still in hell, so what the fuck do you think? But no, I am. I will be out of hell by Thanksgiving. After
you have been in hell for a while. Your gorilla friend in the background is like, "What's going on, Chad?"
It's okay. It's
okay.
It's okay, Gore. I'll handle this one. No, but it's
Rufus. It's okay, Rufus.
Is he bothering you, Chad? I just need to binge watch the Muppets tonight.
Yeah, are you gonna watch the Christmas Carol, or is that too on the nose?
Ooh, that might be really good, but I've never actually seen the entirety of the Christmas Carol.
Really?
I have not. For some reason, I boycotted the Muppets for years after Jim Henson died because I was literally like doing hashtag not my Kermit before social media came around.
not my Kermit.
Hey, you're talking to someone who knew the Muppets like when he was like 4 or 5. Like I had a good sized Kermit doll. I was
a dark crystal poster in your dorm room. Let's just say it. Dark crystal poster, and you're like, this is the Stairway to Heaven of Muppets.
I saw Dark Crystal, I think 3 times in the theater.
Yes, you did. Yes, you absolutely did.
The Skeksis loved that whimpering you whimpering worm. It was so
if
good.
I could go back
you never saw Dark Crystal?
I have it on video disc, so if I ever want to pull it out, I can. I gotta.
It is still the chef's kiss.
We could probably watch it on YouTube and you know.
I don't know. I think Disney's got that wrapped up, or it might be on Netflix.
Comment on it. So all right. So I know the Muppets sort of well. How deep do the Muppets go? Is there like a deep character that I don't know of?
Well, they got this one. Gonzo kind of looks like a turkey, so it might be no. There's a couple of them. My favorite obscure character was the fish thrower. Yeah.
The guy who throws the fish.
Yes.
The cook, right?
Not the cook. He's literally like his one act is like a fish thrower.
All right. All right. Have you seen Beaver Brown Bear Jug Christmas special? Have you seen that?
Emmett Otter's Jugman Christmas?
Yeah, I was way off. But have you seen that?
That was a rite of passage for both me and my sister. We loved
that. Was a
show.
lovely show. I liked it a lot. That's quintessential Jim Henson right there.
What circulates to this day is the outtake reel of all the bloopers.
What the hell's going on?
Yeah, what the hell is that?
What the hell is that?
And because they're taking breaks, the puppets are like just down on the street. So fair change for some ripple. It was.
You know what is bizarre? Last year we literally talked about last year we came up with this idea to do the week that was. I remember coming up with this idea and then asking you about it. You're like, geez, why not? And we've been doing that for a year. Wow. And
hey, I remember a good idea, Emmett. Yeah, like I'm the porcupine, I'm the idiot porcupine.
Yeah, right. What the hell's going on?
What the hell was that?
But
we used to write. I used to have a roommate, Dan Notkin, and he was a screenwriter. He was taking classes for screenwriting at Emerson, and he actually wrote 2 scripts. One was kind of like a Woody Allen knockoff, but the first one he tried and then just completely abandoned, was a parody of Braveheart called Clash of the Tartans.
Okay, what is that?
It was basically if Mel Brooks had written a Braveheart parody.
Oh, okay, all right.
It was pretty funny. But any other time when he wasn't working on that, he would just drink beer, and we'd watch TV shows, and he would just create little sketches. And one of them, he kept on trying to do one for Muppet General Hospital. For some reason, he was just he loved that.
Was there a show called Muppet General Hospital? Because it
was a segment on the Muppet Show. They'd have these little 5-minute shows, and the narrator would say, "So ends another episode of Muppet General Hospital." And tune in next time when you'll hear Dr. Bob say, and then they have the joke. And Dr. Bob is played by Ralph, but he had this idea. He had this idea of, and here ends another episode of Muppet General Hospital. Who's that? Tune in next week when you hear Dr. Bob say, "Who is that? Who's saying that?" Just yelling at the narrator.
Where is that coming from?
Exactly. That was just one of the many gig
Pretty
jokes.
meta.
That was just one of the many acts. He would just come up and he would be sometimes so plowed, I would have to remember the jokes for him. He would. He actually came up with a joke called James Bombed.
Jeez.
Secret Agent James Bombed.
Wasted James Bond.
So, Mr. Bombed, I have you in my clutches now. Hey, fuck you. You must be my arch nemesis, Blowfield. That's Blowfeld, Mr. Bond. Yeah? Fuck you. Just kept on going. Mr. Bond, it's Q. I have this perfect device you'll need to get into the base. Fuck you, Q. You're just making things. Do us both a favor. Make yourself a woman. And don't forget, everything has true meanings when you're a secret agent. Now get me a scotch. What does that mean, Mr. Bond? It means fuck you. Get me another scotch. I think we both decided on the Agent .777, the alcoholic level of death 3 times over. And literally, I remember one bit when he was totally plowed, and he was just going, Mr. Bond, your arch nemesis Goldfinger, have you tied up? You'll never be able to free yourself. Save the girl and dismantle my world-dominating device. What do you have to say for yourself now? Where am I? You're in my clutches. Oh yeah? Who are you? I'm your arch nemesis Goldfinger. Oh yeah? Well, who am I supposed to be? You're James Bond. You're a secret agent. Hey, give me a beer. Beer? What the hell for? Because I'm a secret agent.
Oh,
I had him. I cracked up when I first heard that. When I told him, "You remember the secret agent bit?" He goes, "No, I don't." And he actually took notes the entire time, like when we were hanging out in his father's beach house in Gloucester. He just goes, "All right, but what else did I say? Did I say a beer? Why? Or is it beer? What the hell for?" Like, and I had a good phonetic memory at the time, so I actually knew what the exact lines were. But yeah, sadly,
you.
fuck you. You have to do the Sean Connery voice. You're fucking gold hamster. That's Goldfinger. Fuck you. That's it.
Fuck you. I can't do it, but that's funny.
But yeah, biggest trail off in the history of this fucking program. But
oh yeah, big time. No, big time. How did that even happen? We were talking about turkey.
So now I'm heading up a podcast, and Dan Notkin is shucking clams in a restaurant in Ontario, I believe. Who is the more successful man? I tell you, no. It'll be me once I appropriate James Bond into a script.
Fuck you!
Fuck you!
Fuck you! Hear that? I farted. That was
now we're crossing another story.
That's another storyline. Rufus is in the back going, "Hey, should we take care of this guy? Is this guy okay? Is this guy cool?" He's in the back.
No, he's not, but let him live. He'll be more painful to let him live.
He looks like a gorilla. Straight up gorilla in the inferno.
So now it's been 5 minutes. Let's welcome everyone to the Oddball podcast, the Oddball show. This is the week that was.
Welcome.
This is where we show the week that was in oddballmagazine.com.
So let's get to it. Should we talk about the week that was let's get to it. Oddballmagazine.com.
Yes.
Every single day, Monday through Friday, for the last 10 years.
Oh.
Wowie. Wowie gazowie.
Wowie zowie. Yes.
All right, let's get into it. So where are we at with the secrets of skinny people?
I think we're off this week.
Oh, we're off.
We were actually off.
Oh,
I hate to say it, but we took time off, so we're gonna have to wait.
Let's see what it looks like. Shit.
Yeah. I just thought that was the most appropriate. I thought that was the most appropriate image to leave off of. Yeah, so Jeff wasn't feeling well, so I said, okay, well, we'll give you the week off, and I will say this: the spoilers for this week. I mean, it's a cliffhanger, but it's a hell of a cliffhanger. I am very pleased with. I'm so pleased with the storyline. I don't know if he's going to keep it going until Christmas. I think he has to at this point.
He's got to at this point. It's too deep. It's too deep. It's too deep.
And
it's gonna be great.
But yes, it ended up being. It basically ended up being just an extra added reminder that there's a cliffhanger. And you should check out the Oddball today on Monday if you're listening to this. If you're listening to this on Monday or Tuesday of Thanksgiving, you should check out the previous weeks and get caught up. It's going to be a lot of fun covering it next week.
When do you think this Thanksgiving picture was taken? Is this an 80s picture? That's an 80s picture, right?
Oh, the one behind you.
That was clearly an 80s Thanksgiving, right?
I would say 70s. I would say mid to late 70s or early 80s.
The drapes in general, like
the drapes and just the color of the photo. Where did you find that?
Oh, I found it on the internet, on the interwebs.
Wow, the internet intrigues me. I would know more, but later.
www.google.com.
There you go.
Yeah. So
they sound like a nice. They sound like a nice mom and pop establishment. Google, I say, yes.
Oh, I bought it from a nice mom and pop shop called Amazon.
There you go.
All right, let's put some music.
So Jeffrey Fallon is one of our cartoonists. The other one is Ann Scove, and we also had another cartoonist last week. But I did like these. I do like these little stories that she has. She's very Roz Chast of the New Yorker in her style.
Absolutely, she is.
Post circus traced. When I was very young, my folks took me to the circus. At some point, there was a clown who burst into tears. The teardrops squirted into the air.
It's weird.
The crowd erupted with laughter. I was horrified. Didn't anyone care about the poor clown? It made me cry too.
The teardrops squirted into the audience. Oh,
and Ann Scove is now terrified of clowns to this day. Probably not, but like I said, I enjoy her stories.
Where does she come up with these things? Where does she come up with these things? They're always
just all from real life.
They're always just so random. Remember, she broke her toe and she had that one, and
well, that wasn't so random. She broke her damn foot, and she had to draw about it.
Yeah, but then there was the one about the houses that we were like listening to the music. So there's been, I don't remember that one. Oh, and then there was one where I figure
she's in a perpetual. I think she's in a perpetual dream state.
When me and Sim Gager and you were on the podcast, and we were talking about different types of foods like goulash and stuff. That was a good one.
Yes.
What's wrong, Chad? Post circus tryst. Do clowns scare you to this day? Does John? All right. I'm not going in there. All right, good thing we stopped right there. It's about to get really dark.
And
moving on.
And we're about to get negative viewers.
Oh god, here we go. Are you ready for this?
I'm not reading the entire thing.
Okay, well,
but I do want to give appreciation to.
Let's preface this, shall we?
Go ahead.
You preface it. It's Louis Lasby.
Why do I gotta preface it? You're the one who's wanted to preface it.
You preface it. Why don't you?
Okay.
Fuck you.
Okay. Well, let's get serious.
Okay.
This is a poem based on the Israeli Palestinian fuster clock, for lack of a better word, to sum it up, and you know what I'm talking about. And Oddball magazine has a large group of people who are sympathetic to the Jewish plight, but at the same time wanting a ceasefire and wanting to make sure everyone is safe, and also fuck Hamas.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of poems are coming out in that style in the next couple of weeks. We published one in the same vein this past, although it was more reaction to the terrorists, but there are going to be more things coming up. I imagine it'll be changing David Sill's war cantos a little bit now that Second War has been added on to the fucked Sunday that is planet Earth. Mm-hmm. So we will see. But
oh boy.
But all I know is that this poem exhausted Luis. It was called Gaza the Desolation. Fun fact, he was getting feedback from other writers and other Jewish people who were giving him suggestions on language and such. And
wow.
I think he would be, and there were some changes that were done between Monday and last Monday and today. The last were done on the weekend, and there were like very minor cosmetic ones, but just to make sure that the language was as
holy shit.
The language was as blunt as it needed to be without suggesting any anti-Semitic sentiment.
I actually think that this was pretty well done.
I do agree, having posted it myself. I'll just do the first part with the two prefaces. The poem is Gaza the Desolation. The first quote is Polybius, The Rise of the Roman Empire. If history is deprived of the truth, we are left with nothing but an idle, unprofitable tale. The second quote is from the Jewish Wars. I think it's also called the War of Jewish, but there's a couple of alternative titles to it, I think, depending on translation of the text from Flavius Josephus. I protest openly that I do not go over to the Romans as a deserter of the Israelis, but as a minister from thee. Part 1. The song from a Shabbat flute. I do apologize for this pronunciation. I'm not trying to make light. No. The song from a Shabbat flute. A Shabbat, that ancient flute that sings its sorrowful dirge, the crashing cymbals of aircraft, rockets, bursting like Roman candles in the early dawn, the Palestinian people in that city awake amid the ruins, and die crushed by concrete walls in their sleep. Sirens wailing is the last sound they will hear, and arching in the air of pigeons and doves with their small cries they will never hear again. Gaza, Gaza, Gaza. 5,000 years of blood, iron, and some periods of peace. City and people have endured under the ancient sun, enjoying their sommelier, coffee and teas, coffee with cardamom or unsweetened rose and mint water drinks in the dry summertime. But during these October days, the coffee bazaars, the neighborhood cafes are shattered and empty with broken brass cartridge shells, and the floors are caked with the blood of the dead.
2. Slaughter at a festival of peace and love. They came to dance and sing, the tribe of Nova gathering, celebrating their Jewish holiday of Sukkot. The wild groves of eucalyptus trees gleaming bright in desert sunlight, young Israelis and American Jews dancing to psychedelic music, were soon to be slaughtered like sacrificial lambs by the rage of fighters against an endless oppression. The choreographers of the Greek tragic drama was the handmaiden of history, lifting up her ancient skirt of words and warning in a merciless desert. Israelis young and old dying in the searing heat. No quarter given, no shot like animals in a caged quarter. No mercy shown by the fighters. The loud music stopped. Young, beautiful dancers in galaxy leggings, pranksters, innocent youth, and drunken revelers, dancing rhythmically on expensive segways, their psychedelics and hashish drugs thrown asunder amid the sound of staccato gunfire. Cars gutted and burning not too distant from the seething enclave of Gaza, where revenge came out like an engulfing earthquake. And I'll stop there.
Yes, but suffice to say, as I said, like he's still working on this, and this was Luis does not write frivolously, and
he does not.
Even as far as like this past weekend, like Friday, he the first paragraph had symbols before changing it to cumbles, just to keep it to keep everything as neutral as possible. Like this has been a labor for him, as I suspect it's going to be for anyone who writes. And but we do have people writing, and I'm glad we're able to get that represented in the magazine. So thanks to Luis, and thanks to other poets who have come through, especially in the last week, where, like I said, we'll have at least we had Laurie Rosen today on Monday the 20th, and we'll have Susan Ilsa Tepper this coming Monday, and I believe one of the war cantils will be ready for December to help close out the year.
You know, it'd be nice if we were talking about puppy dogs and rainbows, but we're just not. We're just not talking about it right now. You know,
not on Mondays.
Nope. Louis Lazaro Tyrina was born in Salina, Kansas. Mr. Tyrina has a Master of Art degree in history, concentration being military history and diplomacy. He's a published author of military theory, short stories, essays, and poetry. Mr. Tyrina resides in Vermont. I respect this writer very, very much. I've always respected Louis, and also his photography as well. I've always been I've really enjoyed his work. So
now
let's lighten up a little bit.
It was almost an unfortunate pairing with this, but it seemed very fitting to follow up with the comics that with Mr. Dusty McGowan, who actually submitted to us a little while ago, but he got missed because he submitted into artwork.
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah.
So I'm glad Dusty was able to. We were able to get his work tracked down, and that we were able to include it last week.
Yeah, he's written to us a couple times, like, "Hey,
I believe so. Yeah,
I've written to you. Where's my stuff?" Yeah, right. Sorry, Dusty. We found it, and here it is.
We did find it,
and it simply says "Family Reunion." It's a one panel comic strip, and it says. Tell you if this is the podcast, it says Family Reunion. It's a bunch of gravestones. It says, "Why isn't anyone showing up?" And it's the Grim Reaper. And
see, fun. Yes.
See, we lined up a little bit. Let's go to Dusty's. Let's see Dusty's website. Oh, it's his Instagram. Oh, yeah.
That's his Instagram. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
he might have
Dusty-
had a website, but I couldn't access it.
Oh,
That might have
Dusty's.
been he might have been the guy with the Wix site. I don't remember.
Yeah, no. Dusty's not only does Dusty have a website, he actually messaged me the other day, which I really appreciate. And he
What did he
had
say?
he said like thank you, or I enjoyed being in the magazine or something like that. And I always appreciate that.
Let him know to send more.
Yeah, and I just literally I wrote back and said, "Oh man, thanks so much. I really appreciate it. Grateful for you." And that was that. So and if you look at his Instagram, it looks like these are reoccurring characters right here. So
Yeah.
all right, let's move on. Let's see where it goes here.
Now we got Tuesday.
Oh, we got an Edward Sopranowitz.
Yes.
I love this guy's stuff. How do you think he does this, by the way?
Computers or mirrors. Maybe computers on top of mirrors.
Yeah, but he does something. I think he draws something and then he just twists it out.
Somehow magical.
Fuck you.
That's gonna be the theme for today. Fuck you, Sean Connery. I think half of our themes have been "fuck you." Like one of the themes was "fuck you, I'm dying" from Reservoir Dogs. Now
You
it's
think I'm
Sean
gonna come
Connery.
out of the blue and talk about Edward Michael Sopranowitz and his art?
And you were doing so well. You were doing so well. You resisted for so long.
I thought I was measured. Yeah, no, I was very, very measured. The wonder of it
If
all.
you're just going to decide out of the blue to use the Chris Penn joke again.
Again? Don't point that gun at my dad.
Oh, God.
If you shoot me.
Gun at my dad. Oh, my God. I actually saw the last 30 minutes of that movie when I went to go visit my mom over the weekend.
It was on TNT, wasn't it? With Star Wars.
I don't remember.
They're not gonna play Reservoir Dogs on TNT.
No, but it was definitely on one of her 15 movie channels she never watches. And
Good for you. I like that.
Good for you. That's a good idea. Yeah,
that's a good idea. You know what that guy reminds me of? That guy reminds me of the All-State guy who Mr. Mayhem. That's what that guy reminds me of. You think I just decide?
You have to. Oh man, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, I had a roommate, Brett, who was involved in the Hilltop Players. Kind of a lot of them were like the same people that did the Reservoir Dogs play adaptation.
And God, I would love to see a Reservoir Dogs play. Ooh,
it was interesting.
Make it happen. Reservoir Dogs musical with Mr. White and Mr. Pink.
But my point is that what was I going to say? My point is that the Brett was
don't point a gun at my dad.
My roommate was also a player. He was behind the scenes, but he also did a couple of parts. He was the sidekick. He was the sidekick for the bad guy in Arsenic and Old Lace. And when the protagonist is tied up, there was apparently a stage performance where Brett, after he's tied up, starts doing the dance to the stuck in the middle dance.
Oh man! Oh, that's
and there was a ton of like really weird, obscure references that he did.
Oh, that's awesome.
But that was one of them. I wish I had seen that one, but
I would love for Quentin Tarantino to go into Broadway musicals and make the Hateful Eight into a musical. Let's just see how that one plays out.
Oh.
All right. That's a tough scene. Poem by Dominic Sluzerzik.
New person.
Yeah. Dominique Sluzerzik. The Wonder of It All, 125, Edward Michael Sopranowitz. It's a magical piece of magic. Here we go. The Day I Was Born. Despair where there was once red hair. I searched the world, but only find a whisper of your frail form. You are like me the day I was born. Delight beside bright lights and dying night skies. That's a pretty poem.
There you go. I like the look of that. He had some nice longer pieces, but I did appreciate that one. I enjoyed that very much.
Yeah, I like it too. And University of Nottingham, man, I love that. Man, I love that people are all over the world published in Oddball, man. It's incredible. University of Nottingham, go Fighting Irish. I'm just kidding. Dominic Slezerick.
White people all over the world come to Oddball. No, I'm messing.
Yeah.
We're more diverse than that, but it's just the way you said that. All over the world. Like,
all over the world, the University of Nottingham.
Wait, not there. No, but
all right.
Yes.
All right. Let's did you hear me say the Fighting Irish? It was a joke about what was it?
I got the joke.
Dominique Slezerick is an artist who makes everything from music to painting. He was educated at the University of Nottingham, where he got a degree in biochemistry. His poetry has been published in various literary magazines, including Fresh Words, Berlin Lit, and Home Planet News. His fiction has been published in Moonshine Review. Do you notice that Moonshine is lowercase m and then higher case s?
I did notice that. That was an exact quote.
Okay. That is awesome. Edward Michael Sopranowicz is the grandson of Irish and Russian Ukrainian immigrants. He grew up on a small farm in Appalachia. He has a grad background in painting and printmakings. Some of his artwork has recently or will soon appear in Fish Food, Streetlight, another Chicago magazine, The Door is Ajar, The Phoenix, and The Harvard Advocate. Edward is also a published poet who has been nominated for the Pushcart Prize multiple times. First off, I just want to stop the show, stop the presses, and let you know Tim Gager got nominated for a Pushcart Prize.
Oh, yeah, as did Gloria Mindock. So
and did Gloria Mindock, yeah. Congratulations.
Okay, up next, I have to drop out of hell for a second. I have to go inside the lake of fire for a second. But while you're doing that, you can actually read your own jagged thought.
Thank you, sir. All right.
Wait 1 second. Before you do that, let me make sure that my volume's all set now that I just disconnected something.
Yeah, you can just mute yourself. There's an easy mute right there. Just mute yourself.
All right. So
you can decide to just leave during my jagged thought. All right, jagged thought 502. Blueprint instrumental. So, all right. So this is a very simple poem that I wrote listening to Blueprint's instrumentals for a couple of. If you ever listen to Blueprint, I don't know if you ever have, but Blueprint is very good, and he also is a very good. He makes very good beats that are very interesting. So if you ever heard one of my favorite albums of his is. I think it's called Adventures in Counterculture, and I really like that album. I think it's really good, and some people might not like it, but I like it a lot. And so I would love to get Blueprint on my podcast. He has a podcast called Super Duty Tough Work, where it's awesome because I once saw when he first started the podcast, I started listening to it, and he talked about a book called The Dip by Seth Godin, and I read it and I was upset. So I was like, should I don't want to follow the advice of The Dip. So I didn't. So if you ever read The Dip, it basically says that things dip and sometimes you have to give up on things. At the time, I was like, well, what should I give up on? And I decided I would give up on nothing. And I never choose to give up on anything. So that's what The Dip is about. The Dip is about like projects and stuff that you create that you, after a while, you just give up on. Seth Godin says you just decide to give up on it and move on to something else. And there's something called The Dip. And anyway, in this book, in this podcast, Super Duty Tough Work, he goes over these 5 or 6 different books. And one of them was The Dip. And I actually read it. It's a little small book. I definitely recommend it. So if you are listening, check out Blueprint. Blueprint's awesome. I don't know if Blueprint's on Rhymesayers, but I saw Blueprint once with Toki Wright and Atmosphere and Dem Atlas and I actually met Toki Wright the other day. He was a really nice guy. I met him at the after party of the Isabel Stewart Garden Museum. So I really did. I met him. He was really cool. Like he gave me. I asked him. He said, "My name is Toki Wright." I said, "Your name is Toki Wright?" He's like, "Yes, sir." I was like, "I know you. I have your album. I listened to it. I saw you play with Blueprint and Atmosphere." So I actually met him. It was pretty cool. So this is just a very simple poem to Blueprint's instrumental. So here we go. Sing me a song for a second. It goes down like this. Arrest the president like Sage. burning up like a maze. Been faded since extra glaze, down with Dilla donuts from the early days. I've seen things, done things, kept tranquil. I take tranquilizers because the energy in my pen is the hearts of men, like Tupac said. Back to the bay, back again. I keep it going with the blueprint zen. You got a lot of learning to do. I see it in your eyes, flamboyant Maltese skies, wondering why the frozen peas gone black-eyed. Where did it go if it got up and died? Did it try and hide, reach the skies? I'm all about the future, but bring it back to 99. And yeah, what does this go to my tags? Yeah, this goes all my. So if you click on that, it goes all my tags. So yeah, that is sort of about 90s hip hop. It's mentioned Sage Francis, Jay Dilla, Tupac.
This isn't your first mention of Dilla either. I'm trying to figure out other places where you mentioned him.
I actually wrote a poem for. Have you ever heard of Freeze Ray before?
Yeah.
Yeah, I submitted. So like a chump, I submitted to Freeze Ray, which is actually a pretty good journal. But submitting to anything for me is a chump move because 1 out of 10 gets submitted. So anyway, I wrote this poem called "Listening to Dilla in Sweatpants," and then I think I published it in Oddball after it was rejected in Freeze Ray. Do you remember? Did you ever hear "Listening to Dilla in Sweatpants"?
I think
it's a pretty good poem. Yeah, I mean it was decent. But yeah. So I love hip hop. I love writing the hip hop instrumentals. I also love writing to compositions and Philip Glass and things like that. I love writing to those instrumentals as well. So Chad, I don't think you write the instrumentals. Your stuff is very, very thought heavy. I feel like the words are chosen very, very am I wrong? Do you choose your words very?
For the most part, although, yeah, I'm trying to loosen up a little bit.
So what is your writing process? I've never really asked you. I know you're super prolific, though. What is your writing process?
It's gonna sound obnoxious, but I just sit down and write. I don't write listening to a lot of music.
No?
I try not, or I usually listen to music during the editing process. The one thing,
Really?
My one ambition is to try and do something to write something in accordance to my favorite artist, but I've never had the confidence to do that. A lot of my poetic colleagues write to Jerry Jazz musician and do poets on like the concept of jazz and blues. I just never thought I was versed enough in the blues or jazz to even try it. But I keep on trying to dare myself to do it. Like I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it this time, and I don't do it. But maybe by 2024, I'll get it done.
I've absolutely written a jazz before. It's the perfect writing music because you can just go off on it. And I love writing the jazz music. Actually, you've probably heard a lot of my poems about jazz music, and literally
I've heard a few, yes.
Like love that jazz, or jazz music, or jazz 99, or whatever. Jazz, listening to jazz, listen to Coltrane, listen to this.
I think it's a little bit more pronounced, subtly. I think it's a little bit more subtly said than that, like not jazz, like.
Yeah. But anyway, one time I was talking to Charles Coe, and he said he listens to music all the time when he writes, which I thought was interesting because he's such a great writer, and I can recommend I can relate to that, and I don't know.
Some people can, I can't, or at least I can't currently in this time of my life.
Well, I mean, why would you? I mean, you write a lot of measured, tempered poems, don't you?
Pretty much, but wouldn't mind loosening up again. I used to listen to music while I wrote, and then the more I did it, the more I had to keep quiet. Unless I'm doing the editing. If I'm doing the editing process, I can put on I'll put on 80s power ballads. I'll put on 80s pop. I'll just do whatever.
Take my breath away. Exactly.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Or I'll just anything to get me in a groove that. Takes me away from the whatever voice that helps me able to look at the voice from a different perspective.
Do you ever write a lot of do you write poems with like a lot of different personalities? Well, actually, yeah, you have. You've written a bunch. All your Jesus poems.
I wasn't trying to go with that, but I'm trying to say I do have a speaker in the poem, and I do have an I, and they're not the same thing.
Yeah.
They're not the same thing as of right now. So those are like the there's like the predominant like you second person person talking to me in the second person. Then there's the I, which very rarely comes out these days.
Yeah.
My Patreon, if you go to my Patreon, if you subscribe $1 a month, you can see my current project called the Tuesday poems, which no one's seen. No one's seen outside of Patreon. I might do them as a book. I'm probably going to have to change all the titles because right now they're just like poem 1, 2, 3, 4. And the worst thing you can do is just have your poems numbered.
Yeah.
No one wants them. Like I've been trying to submit 2 sequences of poems that are like parts 1 through 25 or like 1 through 30, and I've never gotten like 1 through 5 published anywhere.
Yeah. I mean,
the closest I got for parts 1 through 5 published, the editor was called out on being a potential groomer and cheater, and he never published them, and I lost the editor that I had in good favor with the journal. So the poems might be cursed. They might be cursed.
Rufus is in the background like, what the fuck is he talking about?
Exactly. I'm just saying, don't have them be just 1, 2, 3, 4. You need titles. So if I ever put this out in the book collection, I'm putting out titles. Yeah,
no, I mean, maybe it'll come out in Oddball Magazine Publishing. Did you know that we're working on Eliza Zayas' book right now? Did you know that?
Yes, she actually sent me a copy of the book.
Oh yeah, is she asking for you to write a little line for it? You should.
I'm gonna do my best to. I haven't had a chance to read it. I'm hoping to print it out before I leave for Thanksgiving on Wednesday or Thursday.
And, she sent it to you recently. Awesome.
Yeah, she sent it to me the day. She sent it to me on her day of her birthday, actually.
Oh yeah, her birthday just came up. Yeah.
So I definitely got to take a look. There's like a regular version and a shortened version, so I'll be looking at both. You
just think out of the blue.
Yes, exactly.
All right, moving on.
Let's go. Right. Very good. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Look at this guy. This guy's got to lighten up. I'm looking at my face. All right, moving on. That hat I lost a long time ago. There's a story to it. I wonder if they still have it. All right,
this Joker needs to get laid. These two Jokers need to get laid somehow more when they're together. Like it's like they're even more. They sound even more desperate when they're together and not even trying. But
yeah, and that is the story right there. All right. I love this. Who put the graffiti there? Who put the graffiti? Glenn Bowie put the graffiti in the. Who put the graffiti there? I love it.
It's a great shot, and it's kind of like a juxtaposition of modern versus old trains, which you can associate more with in the poem.
Look at the background. Where is that, do you think? I mean, that's definitely Boston.
I would almost think that's Boston, but it's hard to say. I would think it's Boston, but it could be.
No, but it says
a number of places.
Hotel right there, Chad.
What's that?
In what chat? There's a hotel, but I can't read it, man. The hotel in the background. Am I blind? Limitano? Oh my God, I'm blind.
Hotel Americano. Yes. Okay. Maybe it's France. I have no idea.
All right, moving on. Poem by Mark J. Mitchell. Photography by Glenn Bowie.
Let me
Mail train.
Let me take up the burden for you.
Jack, mail train.
You're cracking me up.
You think you? All right, go ahead.
Mark Mitchell. And the name of the poem is...
Go ahead.
Name of the poem is Mail Train. It looks like a movie set. An old train. Dark cars rock endless, walnut and glass compartments, holding nothing but realms of blank paper hungry for your pen. The signs are French, demanding your letters. You fold and unfold your old letter, words in Greek or Russian. You set your watch to local time, see signs change languages. You want the ride less rough. You breathe, the air's blank as paper. You test doors on compartments. I'm just gonna leave it like that. It's just such a great mood piece.
Yeah, it is.
I did enjoy this one, and of course, Mark Mitchell, who I don't think has contributed to us before. He's published 5 collections of poetry, 2 novels, His most
Very
recent is
stylized.
Something to Be from Sicky's Porch, which is an odd publishing name, never heard of before, but there you go.
I guarantee you did not pronounce that right. I guarantee you.
I guarantee you are right too. I'm not taking that bet. I'm not against.
Glenn Bowie is a published poet, lyricist, musician, and photographer from the Boston area. He also owns and operates an elevator company that supplies custom-built elevators for clients from New England to Hollywood. What movie did he do that we always talk about?
I think he did the glass elevator for Captain America: Winter Soldier.
Oh, that's pretty big stuff.
And I'm sure that's not the last one he's done.
Yeah, I can't believe he makes elevators. That's fucking awesome. Author of 2 poetry and photograph collections, Under the Weight of Whispers and Into the Thorns and Honey, on Big Table Publishing. He donates all profits from his books to various charities for the homeless and local animal shelters. Just a good guy right there, Glenn Bowie.
Yes.
I love this graffiti, but we're going to move on. I don't know. I can't read that.
This one is another.
This is so cool. Is this John Engstrom?
John Engstrom, and I asked him specifically for artwork to complement the poem by Amanda Hawke.
You asked him for this, and he made this for you?
He didn't make it, but he had a selection that I wanted to make sure it complement the piece. Sometimes I do it. Sometimes I make the pairings, but most times I end up having to because I can't contact the poet person soon enough.
Pretty perfect pairing, though.
It was a lot of fun doing this one.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun, like pairing up, and there were other good selections too that he gave me, but this one seemed to work the most.
So I'm just gonna say this. I mean, if you want to read some of this is like a story poem. You want to read a little bit of it, and then
sure.
All right, go ahead. All right,
Who will be on top is the title. America's Next Top Model cycle began with a busload of camera angles and close-ups. Girls crowded the screen as they faced Tyra and her rotating judges with awestruck gazes. Tyra, draped in sequins and Emmy nominee ambition, took her 15 minutes of episode to pick through each girl's hopes, dreams, and tragic backstories. They balanced on the edge of a cocked hip and a catwalk show-off. And these girls started to lose themselves in Tyra's spotlight, eyes, and flashbulb smile. She was a den mother of exploitation for 14 young women, and they fell further into the camera lens. She spoke on each contestant's beauty, then presented primetime makeovers with haircuts, cinched up corsets, and bent broken limbs to portion them out and cut them into the proper viewing segments. In the beginning, they were all smiles. And it was that line.
Oh, I love it.
It was the passage of bent and broken limbs that made me think of this piece, that made me want to do this piece where like everything is like cut up
and broken.
So it almost looks like bent and broken off limbs.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
It was a great pairing for it. And
good story,
Amanda Hawke, I want to see more of. There's also a poem that she did. I might try and see if we can publish it. Almost publish it like a year or two from now because it has to do with a movie and an anniversary that's coming up very shortly. But that's for another time.
Okay. All right.
Amanda Hawke is... she lives in Seattle between the roaring plains and concrete jungle, splits her time with her son, friends, and the city's neon lights. She enjoys the beauty and the shadows over the brightness of the sun.
Nice.
John Engstrom is a Boston-based artist, author, poet, a retired journalist, museum worker. He serves as arts critic for the Fenway News.
Love it.
His collages and poems appear on Facebook and Divergence magazine.
Absolutely love this piece and pairing. Great stuff.
Yeah, that was a good one. That came out of the blue.
Don't. I'm not doing it.
Don't.
All right.
That was not an invitation. That was
no, I'm not doing it. October 7th. October 7th, 9/11.
Yes, another one that alludes to the Israeli-Palestinian crisis. That's you're talking about It's All One Thing by James Vince.
Oh, October 7th, 9/11. Wait.
Yeah.
9/11. All right.
That's correct.
Yeah, I got it.
Let me
you want to read some of this?
Let me get
last week I read like him. It was awesome.
Let's not try for
No, not
comedic
today.
effect.
Not today. No, we're keeping it in line. We're keeping it in line.
I'll just do the first half. Israelis 911, they called it right away. And it is like 911 when they had all those warnings telling them something was coming, but they were looking everywhere except there, where in 2001 it had been so obvious since 93 that zealots in Afghanistan, mostly Saudis, had attacked the World Trade Center, had attacked the World Trade Towers while in Zionist Israel, Palestine. Pogroms in the West Bank had been killing so many more Palestinians for many months, and the Hamas zealots were outraged by the settlers' vicious provocations at the mosque on that dome of the rock of Abraham, that patriarch of Jews, Christians, and Muslims. Oh, who could not know something would happen? But they were ever so surprised, both times when it ever so inevitably did.
Nice, Chad.
And that's just the first half. Check out James's work every week. He is a creator of Labyrinth Mazes in the Boston Common. He's also a poet, activist, and traveler. This coming Thursday for Thanksgiving, his poem "It's All One Thing" will be published. And it's actually a reverse pilgrimage because while everyone's talking about settling down, celebrating the settling down of America, his poem that I want to publish actually covers his first day traveling to Europe this past summer.
Oh yeah, he did that. He traveled all over. Yeah, this summer. Yeah.
And the next couple of poems for the next couple of weeks will focus on that, and awesome. And with more to come. So yeah, check him out. Check him out even this Thursday coming up on Thanksgiving.
And now for something completely different. We have Bamboozled No More. This is the weekly column from Janet Cormier, and this one is called Solitude. And I don't know. Today was cold out, so this one makes sense. 40 degrees cold. So. It was very cold out today. 40 degrees cold.
It's fucking freezing.
Fuck you. 40 degrees cold. Luckily, the sun is out, and there are no.
Take a breath and start over.
Yeah, here we go. Give the poem its due.
Yes.
Fuck you. Here we go. Bamboozled No More, Solitude. 40 degrees cold. Luckily, the sun is out and there are no wild winds. But there's that chill that comes when you're alone, missing someone, and you hope they're missing you too. I love that. That's nice. Janet Cormier is a painter, writes prose and poetry, and performs comedy. Have you ever seen Janet perform comedy before?
I was actually part of a double feature where it was like poetry and comedy in a club, and she was there too. I don't think she performs comedy. I don't think she performs comedy anymore, but that was her thing for a while. Now she's focusing more on her art and drawing, her painting and her drawing.
I've seen her paintings before. Actually, they're nice. Painter writes prose and poetry and performs comedy. Janet prefers different and original over pretty. Loves collecting stuff, but cleaning not so much. Janet also talks to strangers a lot. Her column appears weekly on Oddball magazine. All right, and are you ready?
You first this time.
Okay,
you get first pick this time. You worked.
I actually read these the other day. I read these. Let's see. All right. He always has those haikus. You know what? I know I just kind of glance over them, but they're really well done haikus. So I'll just do one haiku, but it doesn't count as my poem. Haiku by Clear Dew Ibus. A calm squirrel sits under the elderberry tree, feasting on acorns. Very zen. I like how he puts newsreels in his newspaper too. All right. He had a rendezvous with life by Bud Weasel Rice.
And for those who don't know, Bruce Wise is a poet with many personas, which are mostly named after anagrams of his original name, Bruce E. Wise. Hence the odd sounding name on occasion. So it's basically Bruce, but it's all the friends in his head at the same time.
Yeah. It's just I'd love to just pick this guy's brain. He had a rendezvous with life by Bud Weasel Rice.
Okay.
Have you seen American Beauty? And he's like, I'd like to pick your brain. All right, all right. Never mind. We're not going there. The dinosaurs were far into the future of life's thirst when layered stone stromatolites first burst onto the earth. Those matted rock formations, the oldest life forms known, they're microscopic synthesizing organisms shown. They use the sun's warm light to build up lots of oxygen in shallow saline waters, making domal mounds back then. And so he had a rendezvous with life here in this place, in this great ball, this turning globe found orbiting in space. And he would have to navigate with the stromatolites as well as the eukaryotes, including lithophytes. Wow. I'm just going to go to this. Budweiser writes as a poet of eukaryotes.
Let me see if I can. Let me see what I'll do. Since we had trains already in the motif of tonight.
Yes.
I'll do the train at the train station in the night by Brook Diesel Ah.
Brook Diesel Ah.
He barely was alive. He was in awe at all he saw. There was too much to see. He felt the fall of nausea. Was he in Germany or England? He had been in both. For a train station in the night is imbroglio scene. The train conductor took the tickets from the passengers. The engineers began the movement. Cars, cheers, bars, and jeers. The whole was so much to account for. How could it be done? And forth the evening's darkness had to fly far from the sun. One had to go on through the terrors and adventures shown. Distorted images would leave one queasy in some zone, where continuity was broken everywhere one looked. To where he was he now going to? To where had he been booked?
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm thinking of my girlfriend and her daughter when they're trying to hit the trains in France.
You
Yes.
did go to Paris like last year, didn't you?
2 years ago, but yeah, summer before last. That was a time. We'll be doing it again in a couple of years. I think after Margaret graduates. I mean, Molly graduates after her kid graduates.
Yeah,
that's the goal.
That'd be amazing. Brook Diesel is a poet of trains. Diesel was a character in the Railway series by British postmodernist writer Reverend Wilbert Awdry and his son Christopher Awdry. Chad, before we go, because I think we're done with the week that was.
Yes, next week. Hopefully this Friday we'll have some extra stuff, but this week was pretty abrupt.
I thought maybe it would be cool to talk about the Gobble Wobble and show some pictures from it before we go. For like
Do you have the pictures on hand?
Yeah, let me find them. So why don't you talk a little about the Gobble Wobble? I'll show some pictures from it.
Okay, basically, you shoot some hoops. The highest white guy wins the turkey. He goes home, and and you have a good time. You do a drawing. The guy who does sports auctions stops by and says, "Hey, you want to buy a $300 Larry Bird frame?" No, fuck you. All right, so.
Hey, you really should have promoted this more. Okay, man. Thanks,
dude,
buddy.
Man, we're trying.
Ryan, man. You know what, man? You really should have talked to the schools about this. Yeah, you're right. I probably should have tried that. Okay, pal. All right. All right. Look at that. That's Scotty shooting a free throw going in. Nice shot, Chad. These are all shots by Chad Parento, by the way. So this is the Gobble Wobble.
You did do all the. Okay, these are all yours. Oh,
yep. Yep. No. I want to know for the record. Did you catch me shooting 5 in a row? Did anyone get that? Because all the stuff that I got was me banking it. There's Ava Winter. Her stuff was awesome.
One of the art vendors at the event.
Now this was like Qualtis Middle School, as you can see, and it was really great. Just a really fun event. There's a basketball. It was a basketball event, so that's apropos. And it was pretty cool to be on the Qualtis Middle School basketball court and just be able to shoot baskets for like 4 or 5 hours. There's our winner, Ethan Novick.
Yes.
That's
I think he missed that shot, but otherwise cool.
That's him shooting the bunny shot. Remember, like this was to there was a tiebreaker between him and
that's right.
Him and
so
Brandon
he did make that shot.
And he missed that. No, he didn't, because he had to hit the free throw and then the 3-pointer.
Okay.
So wait, is this Scotty shooting another one? There it is. That's Coach Chris. Coach Chris was phenomenal. Coach Chris was amazing. I think we should give the turkey to Coach Chris.
We can't. Well, we can't. We gave it to Ethan.
Look at Brandon. Look at his flow there. You see that?
No.
Yeah, he was a good guy.
I think he missed.
Yeah, that's cool though, man. It looks like he's It
was a cool miss, nothing but swoosh.
Nothing but whoosh. Nothing but
whoosh. Yeah, nothing but whoosh. Yes.
There's Scotty. Look at that. Look, there he is. Me and Tim in the background with his son, and there's Jen, and all of us sitting on the sidelines. There's Punji. Yeah, that was great. That was really a great time. And there's Chris smiling.
Good times.
And then if you actually hear the videos of Chad, he's like, "Hey, Rocky." It was pretty fun.
Oh God, yeah, that was a little too much.
Okay, so I want to stop here for a second. Right here. So if you're listening to the podcast, this was actually pretty cool. So these were the trophies. They were from Awards and More in Easton. Pretty cool that they were able to hook us up with some trophies. Those trophies were for the middle school students. They actually were elementary school students that were there, so we gave them to one kid, right? And then another kid came in and they competed against each other, and it was pretty awesome. So we gave them both the trophies, and then it even got better because there was 3 apple pies. Those were for first, second, and third of the Gobble Wobble, and they were donated from White's Bakery. So also that Home Depot card and Shaw's. But that's me. That's me. It's my odd shirt.
That's you announcing the winners.
Yep, that was me announcing the winners. I don't know. One of the ladies took the video of it. I'd love to see it. I mean, someone took the whole video of it. So this is me. And that might be my profile picture. That's a pretty good picture.
It's you.
Oh, look. And there's Brandon.
Yes.
And I was like, hey, Brandon, great job, Brandon. And there's Nick Athanas cooking up the DJ mix right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I kind of like walked around and talked about like the idea of the Gobble Wobble and why we did it, and the idea that anyone can shoot free throws no matter how good you are or how tall you are. And then there's Brandon again. That's not the best. That's not the best angle, Chad. I look like I'm about 7 months pregnant, but that's okay. Moving on. There's Brandon taking the pie. He's like, "Hey, give me that pie." There's Jacqueline. She was a volunteer. She helped us out. She was awesome.
Jumping in the fire again.
Yeah. Hey, Rufus. Rufus, we're almost done here. There's Punji. Look at that shot of Punji. That lady in the background was really nice. There's Nick shooting a free throw. There's me shooting a free throw. Look at that. Look at that vertical right there, Chad. Check out that vertical.
You missed. I don't know. I actually don't. I don't know if you missed or not. I can't remember anymore.
You're gonna say I missed. All right. Oh, that kid was cool. That was the kid that got the trophy.
Yes,
along with him. And there's Tim. Tim was a nice guy.
And
his kid. And I think we're done. Are we done there?
I think we are done, sir.
Well, wait, nope. There's more. There's more.
Oh God, no.
There's Coach Chris with the clipboards. No. There's Tim. There's that guy. There's Tim. There's that kid. There's that guy again.
There's that guy. Look at this. Now look at this. Now look at this.
We're giving him there's me and Sunshine Scotty. Look at this. I got my head on the pie. There's Brendan again. And we go on. And then
all right, Jason, I need to go to bed.
All right. Wait, hold on.
Look at this. Now look at this.
I like this part. This is the part where these guys were shaking hands, these little kids. Yes. That was cool.
Didn't miss the high five.
And then they high fived. Okay. All right. So anyway, this was a great event. So I'm going to go back and back into the world here with Chad and say, Chad, show's over. See you next time.
Yes. Good. Thank God. Thank you. I mean, yes. Parting sweet sour. I'm with breaking eggs. Anyway.
Parting is such sweet sour. All right. Happy
Thanksgiving. Are we partied yet? Okay.
Goodbye, Chad. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed Oddball Magazine from this perspective.
Yeah, we have fun there.
Stay tuned for more stuff, and keep watching us through Thanksgiving and beyond.
Happy Thanksgiving.
You guys, you too.
Goodbye,
Were you saying that to me or for the readers? Well, for the viewers. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Goodbye, Chad. Happy
Good night.
Thanksgiving.
Do, 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 do.
Do, 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 do. Chad's the best. Chad was the MC at this event, and he was incredible. So, anyway, this Gobble Wobble was really special. So, thank you all. I'm going to give you a couple of shout outs. So, Mansfield Food Pantry, thank you, Aaron and Megan. Thank you for being part of it. Thank you, Northeastern Savings Bank, for Kelly for just giving me some ideas of how to actually run the thing, which was really great. Mansfield Food Pantry, Mansfield Cable Access, Jack and Margie, and also Flags of Honor. That was amazing. Fields of Honor. Thank you, Jerry. It was nice meeting you. Everyone from Mansfield was super cool in putting this event together. I will definitely put on another one. Shout out to Oddball Foundation. Shout out to Jen Boquist for helping out. And shout out to Chad and Nick Athanas. This was really a great event. So, we're Sunshine Scotty was there. Moore was there. Casa Esperanza was there. Lady Jewelers was there. It was just really a great event. Anyway, my name is Jason Wright. This has been the week that was. We have a lot of fun here at the Oddball magazine, but honestly, we have a lot of gratitude for you, the listener, and also our friends and family. So please have a happy Thanksgiving, a safe Thanksgiving, and we'll see you next time. And always read a book. Peace. And, just read a book. Be good to each other, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for listening, and bye-bye.
Show and the Oddball Foundation is dedicated to mental health advocacy through art.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oddball Show features content intended for mature audiences. If you'd like to view a content warning before listening, please check out the